One thing that I learned from my coaches, my mentors, is that you give 10% because you want to prioritize the Lord. For example, when I receive my salary, I will take away the 10% of that, not give what is left out of my salary, because you prioritize God. It's an act of faith, meaning to, and that also gave me a realization that I can live within the 90% of my salary. Actually, you don't really need 100%.
Hey, this is Kuya Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of Pera and Purpose Podcast, a show about money and meaning. My aim is for you to use money as a tool to live a meaningful life. Yon! Pero before we begin, okay, excited na ako for this episode. Pero before we begin, isa muna uling gratitude shout out sa ating one of our avid listeners. Ito po si Miss Jeanette Fababer Ventura. Ayan, one of our avid listeners. And ang sabi niya, inuulit-ulit niya daw yung episode na Get a Life Insurance. Yung guest ko doon is si Mr. Michael Pe sa Singapore. And yung isang episode is yung solo episode natin about financial horror stories. And I hope, Miss Jeanette, na itong program natin can help you add value sa mga clients mo in the future. Again, maraming salamat for listening sa Pera and Purpose Podcast. Yon! And guys, this is the third episode of Inspirasyon, where we listen to inspiring pera stories of overseas Filipinos from different parts of the globe. And ang guest natin tonight or today or kung anong araw mo man ito papakinggan has been an overseas Filipino for the last 15 years. And 10 beses siyang umexit para mag-renew ng visa. Dito sa UAE, para siyang badge of honor. Okay, so kung nakikinig ka from the UAE, you'll totally relate to this story. And he is one of the OGs when it comes to blogging. And he is famously known as Boy Dubai, the Filipino blogger and influential storyteller based in Dubai, UAE. He's also a brand ambassador of global brands like Samsung, Huawei, and LG. Also, nakipag-partner din ang mga Filipino brands. Hindi ito basta brands. These are big brands like the Philippine Basketball Association or yung PBA, Wish, and ABS-CBN for content creation. Currently, he works as a digital transformation consultant at Accenture Middle East. One of the few humblest people I know. Let us all welcome Mr. Ion Gonzaga. Woohoo! Brother, magandang gabi. Thank you for...
Wow! Okay. Good evening. Ang taas ng energy mo, Jay, parang nung una kitang narinig. Wow, paano ko hahabulin yung energy na yun?
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Chill lang tayo tonight. No, thank
you
you.
for that beautiful introduction, bro.
Thank you rin, bro.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Same din. And ako, I would really want to take this opportunity to give thanks sa'yo kasi naalala ko nung ako yung naging huling guest mo dun sa walk-in mo, di ba, na segment. And ang laking bagay nung episode na yun for me kasi yun yung mga first time na gumagawa ako ng content and yung Empowered Expats was still new, di ba? So, malaking bagay yun sa amin kasi nagkaroon kami ng way para mas makilala yung ginagawa namin dito ni Emong. Kaya maraming salamat, bro. And siguro before yung ano na yun, before yung episode na yun, actually iniisip ko na siya. Sabi ko, ano kayong feeling na nandito sa episode ni Bro Ion? And nagulat ako nung nag-message ka. Sabi ko, ito may law of attraction kapag iniisip ko. Nangyayari siya. And I really enjoyed that walk that we had dito sa Union Park. Kaya really happy na
well, I wouldn't invite it if I don't believe in your story nung una tayong nag-usap, di ba? And I'm sure you really had an interesting story to tell. Kaya yun. And that was my first time also in doing vlogs, yung walk-in, di ba? Tama, ikaw nga yung naging finale ko that time.
Sana nga mabalik na yun. Kasi it's been how many years? Pero, because of the pandemic, alam natin na you also have a lot of things to do. Especially now na dalawa ng iyong chikiting na.
Nga, isa lang yun nun.
Isa lang yun nun.
Yes.
And I know how tough it is to raise kids. Lalo na dito sa Dubai, no?
Oh, well, yeah.
Pero
That deserves another episode.
totally, bro. Pero bago tayo magsimula, no. Ito matagal ko na gusto malaman eh. Ano bang relationship mo kay Tony Gonzaga?
Ayun, hat na hat seat.
At kaya nga napapanahon.
Yes, actually, good question. We are both youth volunteers. Kala mo
Wow.
No, I'm not related to her. It just, I think one time, long time ago, 15 years, our paths crossed and we just learned that parehas pala kami ng advocacy in terms of youth volunteerism. That time, yun, kala mo.
Kala ko.
But other than that, nothing else. No.
I see. Matagal ko na inisip yun. Sabi ko, na celebrity na to. Pero at least it's been, it's clear na. Kasi nga recently, di ba? Medyo trending ang kanyang episode lately.
Yes.
So ito bro, gusto natin kasing i-share ang ating mga natutunan about finances. Lalo na sa mga overseas Filipinos kasi marami sa atin ang nahihirapan mag-manage nito, and I'm sure we all can learn from different people's story. Lalong-lalo na sa'yo kasi I know na ang dami mo rin naging struggles and challenges dito sa UAE. Pero before anything else, gusto ko malaman bro, no? Bakit ka ba talaga naging overseas Filipino? What is the reason behind that?
Yeah, actually, it was not planned. During that time, fresh out of college, I was very, very active in youth organizations. Meron akong radio show, and then we do a lot of campus tours. So I was really enjoying my life then. So parang sabi ko, as a frustrated media personality, that time, sabi ko, this is what I want to do. This is what I see myself doing forever. Until my dad came to Dubai. And after 6 months, he asked me and my mom to follow him dito sa Dubai. Na parang, okay, he said, maraming opportunities dito for my job. Kasi I work in IT I work in IT back then. So sabi niya, Dubai is booming in opportunities. This is pre-recession. This was 2006.
Okay.
Alright, so parang sabi niya, sige, you try it here. Ang dami kong nakita sa classified ads. But my heart was not really there. Alam mo yun. And alam mo yung nasa kasagsagan ka ng ginagawa mo, gustong-gusto. You're very active. We're talking about fresh graduate, bro. Gustong-gusto mo lahat, ang dami mo nakikilalang tao. And then all of a sudden, hihilahin ka papunta somewhere else. Which is your mind and your heart is not there. But after a few days of thinking about it, my mom also told me, this is also one way to support my dad and to support my 2 younger sisters na nag-aaral pa.
I see.
Sa college. So parang, since I had that heart to really help in the finances while I was still studying, okay, sabi ko, sige, I will say yes to my dad. And maybe after 2 years, ito na yung popular na commitment. After 2 years, I can go back to Manila and continue what I was doing. That's the story. That's the short story of how I get to Dubai. But since wala yung puso mo dun sa pagpunta sa Dubai, I never did any research. I did, siguro once, what is Dubai? Okay. Wala pang Burj Khalifa nun. Wala pang Dubai Metro. Alam mo yun, none of these fancy things are out there. You can say Burj Al Arab and Mall of the Emirates. Yun lang yung 2 iconic spots dito sa Dubai that time. So the interest is not really there. So in short, I came here without a plan, without a strategy. Bahala na si Batman. And sabi ko nga, pag hindi ako nakahanap ng trabaho, baka mas mapaaga pa ako bumalik ng Pilipinas. That's the way. That's the way I came here.
And it's all
and then, sabi ko,
yes, sige bro.
Go ahead.
No, sige, continue bro, sorry.
No, I was about to say na after 2 weeks of searching for jobs, nakahanap ako ng work. But it wasn't the one ideal work that maybe you and I are thinking. Kasi ano siya, small business, home-based yung office, and 3 lang yung empleyado. Pangatlo na ako.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't really end up well. So I only lasted for a month and a half. Ito yung story na na-share ko sa blog many times already about someone who locked me in an apartment.
Yeah.
Because apparently I was working under visit visa. Hindi niya ako binisahan kasi small time nga lang naman. So that was the start of my 3 to 4 years journey, up and down journey in the UAE before things turn around.
And fresh grad ka pa no? And iba siguro yung naisip mo nun. back
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
it's not something that you've really imagined coming to Dubai. Na alam natin na it's a big land of
Yes.
opportunities, right?
Right, right. I had only few months of experience working in Manila before I came here. Sa totoo.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Parang ano yun, parang nakaka-trauma yun for me kasi parang dumating mo dito, parang back to start ako. Although ako may 7 years experience ako sa Philippines sa call center. And pagdating ko dito,
Okay.
talagang sabi ko ang hirap makahanap ng work and kailangan ko na magkaroon ng visa kasi maubos na yung pocket
Mhm.
money ko. So, yun din yung ano, pero
Yeah.
ang hirap, actually nakwento mo to nung sa episode namin dati ni Emong, di ba? That was last year, nung pandemic,
Oo.
kasagsagan ng pandemic. And
Oo.
sabi ko, grabe, ang tindi na pinagdaanan mo nun and ilang beses kang umexit, 10 times na, no?
Grabe. Yes, yes. Pioneer na ako ng exit nun eh. True, true.
Oo, so mga hindi nakaka-relate dun sa exit na yan, no? Pag dito sa UAE, pag sinabi exit, it means you're changing your visa. Ibig sabihin,
Yes,
pag
yes.
may exit ka, pa-expire ng visa mo, and many Filipinos do that kasi hindi sila makahanap ng work na
Yes.
either preferred nila or talagang ang hirap humanap ng work. There are really
Mhm.
seasons na may iba walang work for 9 months. And
True.
na-share din ito ni Bro Jeric sa episode namin last time na 9 months siyang walang work.
Yeah.
And yung iba nga umaabot ng ano na taon na iba na stuck dun sa isang
Yeah.
lugar sa may sa may Oman, 'di ba? Is
Oo,
it,
oo.
'di ba? So ganun
Pahirapan
ganun scenario.
kasi, even though there are jobs before,
Aha.
pahirapan yung mga companies na nagbibigay ng visa immediately.
Yes. Oh, ganun yung
No?
scenario dito,
Mhm.
guys, sa UAE.
Yes.
And when you were, ano na bro, no, when you were um experiencing yung life as an overseas Filipino habang tumatagal siya, habang nagkaroon ka na nung maayos na work after 3 years,
Yes.
nagkaroon ka ba ng mga challenges with your money or meron ka bang isang main challenge o series of challenges tong na-experience mo habang ikaw ay nag-grow dito sa land of
Yeah.
sand na to?
Yes, land of sand. Yeah, there's a lot of them actually happened during those 3 to 4 years of struggle.
Mm.
Kasi nga, di ba, I wanted to do my part in helping my sisters to finish their university
Mhm.
studies. But then I was not able to do hanggat wala akong maayos na trabaho. And
Mhm.
would you believe, after only a year, my dad, my uncle, and their friends encouraged me to leave the corporate world
Mm.
and then start a business.
Wow.
So sabi ko, bilang somebody who was really thinking of entrepreneurship, nung estudyante pa lang ako, wow, ayos to, kakaiba. Hindi
Mm.
typical OFW that you will just work for somebody else. So I jumped out of the corporate world. And again, my mistake was I didn't have a plan or strategy on how will I get by or how will I
Mm.
sustain giving money to my sisters back in the Philippines. So in short, I jumped in. We decided to do some web design company agency,
Mm.
and within 6 months, wala kaming nakuhang kliyente. Wala kaming income. That was the start of my financial struggle kasi from somebody who is earning at least a decent starter salary,
Mhm.
biglang 6 months wala kang sweldo.
Hirap nun.
As in zero. But the good thing is, yeah, my dad was here back then, and he was the one supporting me in terms of the food and the
Mhm.
shelter, and that's it. But I don't have any pocket in my money. Money in my pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
Time. And then
Grabe.
yun, grabe yung series na yun. So, parang I was not the type of person that will go out and buy me something that I want. Kasi nga,
Aha.
you're starting a business, most of the time, nakakulong lang kami sa bahay. Trying to build up a website, trying to build a marketing plan, etc. etc. But none of them worked out kasi hindi naman pala napag-aralan ng maayos.
Are you confused about your finances? I know you wanna change for the better pero di mo alam kung saan ka magsisimula, anong dapat mong gawin, and sinong dapat mong lapitan. Yan din ang naging problema ko nung nag-decide akong ayusin ang finances ko. At dahil hindi ko alam ang mga sagot sa tanong na yan, I got scammed, I bought unnecessary expensive financial products, and lost money for not knowing how to invest properly. So, if you are an overseas Filipino or someone who wants to improve your financial situation, I want you to visit my website, that's jadriantolentino.com, to get free resources on how you can start your journey towards financial independence. Again, that's jadriantolentino.com. So, paano? Kita-kits! So,
We were so aggressive.
meron pala kayong, parang this is the first time that I've heard na shinare mo siya, no, na nagkaroon pala kayo ng business na about web design. And gano'ng katagal nag-last yung business nyo na yun?
Well, I left actually after 6 months.
Okay.
Pero I think the business lasted for 2 or 3 years. No, I think 2 years, and then they continued it as another entity after that.
Okay.
I had to leave after 6 months kasi parang I felt the burden na of not having any money. So
Mhm, mhm,
sabi ko, I talked to my uncle, sabi ko, I have to find another job.
mhm.
Kasi the reason why I said yes to my dad here is to help them in the finances.
I see.
And hindi naman ako nag-struggle to find another job after that. So
Mhm,
after less than a month, I joined a startup company,
mhm,
also doing design, web design. So
hmm.
I thought it was decent. Well, yeah, it was pretty decent. I work from home. Kaya
Mhm.
hindi na bago sa akin yung work from home setup ngayon eh. Kasi back then, we're talking about 2008, 2008. We're already
Wow.
doing this. Yeah. So I was working from home. The pay was good. But then I had to do this exit to cash pa rin
Mhm.
kasi hindi sila makapagbigay ng visa sa akin. Ayun.
Okay. So
Yeah.
parang freelance na naman and hindi siya talaga
Yes.
yung proper employment like
Hindi siya
what
yung
the usual
yes.
expats are having, no?
Exactly. Although the business is registered, the employees are not properly onboarded in the
I
company.
see.
But that was the first time that me and my wife, I was already married back then,
Mhm.
opened our eyes to investment.
I see.
Yes. Even though we are, not really well,
Mhm.
uh, we started looking for an investment kasi naniniwala kami. Sabi ko sa kanya, instead of saving our money or putting this money in the bank, let's buy a property. Ganun ka agad.
Mm.
And we're talking about wala kaming savings that time, ah. Wala kaming
Okay.
naiiwan kasi the money that we earn goes out to pay the utilities and our expenses.
Talagang saktuhan
Sabi
lang.
namin, may mga ilang natitira, alam mo yun.
Okay.
So
Okay.
parang tamang-tama, may dumating sa kanyang parang opportunity. There
Mhm.
is this foreclosed property,
Mhm.
a lot property in Antipolo.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it was really big. If I'm not mistaken, it's 271 square meters yata.
Laki
Malaki na
din,
yun.
oo.
Malaki
Oo,
na yun
malaki yun,
doon.
malaki yun, yes.
But it was foreclosed, so nakuha namin on, I think, 50%.
Mhm.
So what we did is, we decided, sige, bilhin natin yan and let's pay for 2 years lang. Can you imagine 2 years
Wow.
to pay? How
Oo.
much? So parang we're talking,
Laki nun.
the good thing is, she's earning well on her
Aha.
job and
Okay.
I am like, pag-ganon-ganon pa.
Oo, oo.
But then we decided, sige, let's do it. It's better
Mm.
na we can commit a part of our money to go into an investment rather than we will say we will save pero
Mhm.
wala naman talagang nasa-save.
Nasa-save, yeah.
Ganun yung mentality namin that time. Okay, so sabi namin 2 years, okay. You know how much we pay every month?
How much?
42,000 pesos
Grabe. Bigat
every
nun.
month.
Mm.
And that time, it was big.
Yes,
At that
so
time, it was big. So you do the math during that time, ang peso against AED is
ano,
like
11 ba yan or
nasa 10,
12?
11.
Oo, parang
Yeah,
ganyan, ano?
11 or 12, ganyan. Mas
Mm,
natin
mm,
mag-12. Yeah. So that was our first exposure to investment. We thought
mhm.
we did great. We thought we did great. But kasi dumating yung point during that 2 years na nawalan ako ng work for
Okay.
7 months. For 7 months.
Ang tagal.
Yes. Di ba, nakuha ako dun sa agency
Oo.
and then they fired me because nag-complain ako na hindi nila ako sinusweldohan for 2 consecutive 3 months.
Oh my
So they
God.
fired me and then nawalan ako ng work for 7 months. So si Rax lang, my wife, was the
Aha.
one paying for it. And a
Wow.
few of our savings. There was a time, alam mo, nasa more than 1.5 years na yung nabayaran namin. There
Mhm.
was a time na talagang short kami sa pera.
Grabe.
Hindi na namin alam kung mabayaran namin. And if you fail to pay, wala yung property sa'yo.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Ganun nga yun. Hindi namin alam yun. So we were really
So,
struggling.
mhm.
Well, the good thing is,
Paano siya na-overcome dun?
we have no idea that my mother-in-law
Mm.
was actually saving. Kasi nagpapadala din
Okay.
si Rax sa kanya.
Aha.
And we had no idea that she was keeping a part of the money that we're sending them.
Wow.
And nung time na kami ang problema,
Mhm.
napakadali para sa kanyang sabihin, don't worry about this month, ako nang bahala.
Mm.
Nabayaran niya yun, and then the next month, I think, nakahanap na ako ng trabaho or something. And to make the story short, nakompleto namin yung
Fulfill nyo yung down payment. I
na-fulfill.
mean, yung buong...
Yung full payment.
Wow,
Yes,
grabe.
within 2
Galing.
years.
Parang...
Gapang. Wala pa kami anak noon. Yes.
So habang ano pa, no? Habang yung mga nakikinig sa atin is married and wala pang children, might as well
Yeah.
talagang save as much and invest as much as you can. And one thing,
Yeah.
one lesson there then is ang napansin ko bro is ito yung laging sinasabi na quote na narinig ko about money. Sabi nga ng pera, sabi niya, save me now and I'll save you tomorrow. And I think
Yes.
that's what happened dun sa scenario niyo, no? Yung mother-in-law mo,
Mm-hmm.
nag-save pala siya a portion of the money that she is receiving na padala. And because of
Right.
that, meron kayo na nagamit. And the good thing with what you are currently sharing bro is ito yung importance ng having a family nga na if you are yun nga, if you are down currently in this particular season of your life, then you always have your family to back you up.
Yes.
And
Yes.
'di ba? So grabe. And yung real estate ang pinaka naging unan yung investment that particular lot. Kamusta na yung lot na yun ngayon? Is it nabenta niyo ba siya or napatayuan niyo siya or ano nang
Yeah. I'll go now to the part 2 of the story. Part 2 out of 10. If I may. No. Actually, the good thing about that is, so after 5 years, naasa sa amin na yung lote, wala kami planong patayuan ng bahay kasi we wanted to stay here for longer eh. Di ba? So wala kami pang planong ganon. The thing is, what we did not expect is the property owner called us to buy a part of the lot for deep well purposes. Apparently, dun sa area namin, merong part doon for deep well. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 42, 45 square meters. Malaki yun. And they wanted to buy that from us. And the price of that property has already
appreciated.
Appreciated, exactly. Yeah. So, more than 100% of the value per square meters ang binayad nila sa amin.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Hindi namin siya binenta. Wala pa kaming planong ibenta at wala kaming planong patayuan ng bahay. So, napakadali sa amin to say, yes, of course, we're willing to sell it. You know?
Why not?
So, exactly. We earned more than, basta malaki. And then, yes. And what we did with the money is, again, we did not save it.
Oh.
Ito yung mga time na nakikinig na ako kila Coach Handel Johnson, kila Edric Mendoza, nakikinig na ako, nag-start na kami makinig ng mga about investment. And the thing is, what we did with the money is we looked for 2 condominium units in Manila to buy. Basically, kasi gusto naming paupahan. One of them is talagang sa amin ni Rax. Gusto namin siyang paupahan. And the other one, I shared it with my sister who's working in New Zealand para naman maging regalo namin sa parents namin when they retire.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what we put the money na pinagbentahan. And the other part, wala kami tinira talaga sa amin, kundi pa masahe pabalik sa UAE. The other part, nilagay namin sa mutual fund sa Pinas.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So parang, and then, yeah, I mean...
Na-maximize nyo yun,
Na-maximize namin yun. I mean, that money came out of nowhere. Hindi naman siya yung parang out of your work or something. So, gano'n namin siya napakinabangan ngayon, yung lot na yun. Yeah, and I don't know, the value of that lot right now is, maybe we're talking about 300% from the original.
Yeah, most likely. Kung gano'n siya ka-in demand or gano'n ka ganda yung location, right? That's how real estate is usually priced. Pero ang ganda na nangyari dun sa scenario yun, and it all started dun sa time na naisip ninyo talaga na i-force yung pagtatabi, right? And kahit hindi pa full yung foundation niyo about personal finance, about saving and investing, pero you knew for a fact na this is an opportunity na you can use and ma-maximize ka in the future. Nagawa niyo siya ng way. And pero sa inyo ba ni Sis Rax, no? Kasi most of the overseas Filipino dito, ang dami rin mga naging challenges sa money. And I just want to know if you also experienced this, like being in debt, spending or overspending on things na hindi naman talaga dapat or what. Have you also encountered those scenarios, or you were blessed with the right people around you na i-guide kayo with investments early on sa journey nyo dito sa UAE?
Yeah, well, we praise God kasi we did not go into the debt story. Although kasi kaming dalawa, we did not even want to get a credit card.
I see.
For so long, fact, nagkaroon lang kami ng credit card this year. No, last year. Last year lang kami nagkaroon ng credit card. Of the 15 years that we're staying here,
Tagal nun ah.
last year lang kami na-convinced that we need a credit card. Kasi parang we wanted to use the money that we have. And if we cannot buy something, we will not do a thing or to buy it unless that's really a necessity. Ganun yung mentality namin. Mahirap kasi we had to deprive ourselves of some things. Pero sa amin naman kasi, ang gauge kumbaga namin is, are we depriving our happiness? No. Kung hindi, okay, let's what we are depriving ourselves, the material thing, but does that affect our happiness? No. Okay, then we're good. Lagi namang may mga ganung thought process eh. It's not really about depriving you of happiness. And we still do this konting leisure here and there. Kasi pwedeng po ka na lang tiis, ganyan.
Yes, oo. Kasi you also
pero in the beginning, we did. Especially nung 2 years na nag-commit kaming bayaran yung lote. We did. Kasi uuwi kami sa trabaho minsan, yung bibili na lang kami ng shawarma sa baba for dinner. 5 dirham shawarma, tigisa kami. As in, ganun, may mga ganun. Maraming beses. Pero we do not really look down on ourselves when we're doing that. Una-una, masarap yung shawarma. Pangalawa, when you are committed to really do something or fulfill something, it would be easier. It would come easy. I think the struggle, personally for me, during, di ba may nawalan ako ng trabaho on that span. I was, recession kasi noon. So I was looking for jobs. I look at Gulf News, Kadich Times, all the classified ads, wala. I tried to send sabi nga nila madiskarte daw kasi I have to visit all websites of companies I know. I will go to their careers page and send CVs manually. There are times na sa Sharjah kasi kami nakatira nito, and then I have interviews in Ajman, in Sheikh Zayed Road. I have to take the bus. Pero pagbaba ko ng station sa Satwa bus station, I have to take another bus going to Sheikh Zayed. Tapos I remember pagkatapos ng interview ko noon, I have to walk back to bus station kasi walang matitira sa aking pera na pamasahin na pauwi ng Sharjah. Ganun ako, naranasan ko yung mga ganung bagay. I think, of course, there are still far worse stories out here in the UAE. Pero, ayun, it happened to me once lang naman, yung ganun na parang wala na akong pamasahe. To think na magkano lang yung taxi that time, 10 dirhams ang minimum, which is that was already from Sheikh Zayed to Satwa bus station. Sa may Fairmont lang yun eh. But dumating ako sa ganun, parang oops, teka, 5 dirhams na lang yung pera ko sa pera. Pamasahin na ng Sharjah kasi, Satwa to Sharjah, 5 dirhams lang that time.
And so, nung nandun ka sa situation na yun bro, ano yung naiisip mo? Can you recall those moments na parang ang hirap nun 5 dirhams? Kasi I can remember the broke days talaga dito sa ano.
Ano nga bang naisip ko? Sige, I think I'd be honest. Parang iniisip ko, am I going to be a hero of myself? Nice. Is this story something worth telling in the future? Will something came out of this ba? Kasi nagbabasa-basa na rin naman tayo ng mga humble beginnings ng mga taong we look up to, right? And many of them also had to go to similar situations and far worse than what I just shared. So honestly, yun yung mga naglalaro sa akin. And there is still optimism on my part that someday I will still get that job. To be honest with you, hindi ko naisip na umuwi ng Pilipinas. I did not think that, ang iniisip ko, ilang exit pa kaya ang gagawin ko? Bago matapos itong mga to. Yun lang yung mga iniisip ko that time.
Iba yung mindset mo talaga bro, no? I mean, this is what really amazes me, no? Sa ilang years na tayo magkakilala? I think almost 3 years na rin. And I've always known you as someone who is very optimistic and walang masamang tinapay sa kahit na sinong if I hear people talking about you, it's always about praises and all. And I'm really proud na nakilala kita as a friend. And I want to know as well, kasi yung mindset mo ba na ganito, na despite of all the struggles and hardships nung dumating ka dito sa Dubai, I mean 3 years of struggles, lalo kung bago-bago ka dito, almost fresh grad, it's not that common eh. Siguro if I was in that situation, I wouldn't have that I wouldn't have that mindset na tumuloy. Baka umuwi na lang ako.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Kasi, I mean, pero sa inyo ba, is it because of how you were brought up sa family, or was it there someone na you
Uh,
are really influenced by, or I mean, or kayo ni Rax? I think magkakilala na kayo since ano pa, college?
no,
Ay,
we
hindi
met
ba?
online. During
Oh,
that time that we started the business here, this wala
dito
kaming
na.
kliyente, wala kaming project, so I had all the time in the world
I see.
to chat her. Yahoo Messenger paggamit namin noon, tsaka Friendster. Oh.
Oh, classic days. Yeah.
No, I met her online but not randomly. May ano
Mm,
kami. Her brother is my close friend. So yeah. You were saying about having that optimism or the
yeah.
positive mindset, tama ba?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know din kasi since college ako, uh, ano na I always parang naranasan ko lagi that well, how do I begin? Kasi my dad, when
Mhm.
I failed UPCAT,
Mm.
when I failed UPCAT, na-discourage na siya to let me try out in another university in Manila.
Mhm.
Actually, isang way niya pa is to let me become a varsity in
Mm.
basketball or volleyball ng San Beda or
Wow.
Adamson. Which is, ako naman, hindi naman talaga ako athletic. You know, I know I love to play but not to that extent.
Yeah.
So, dahil na-disappoint siya na hindi ako nakapasa ng UP, he put me in a school in the province in Laguna, Perpetual Health.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, parang sabi kong gano'n, that when I look at that situation, sabi ko sa sarili ko, I want to prove my dad that it's not about the school. I
Mhm.
want to
Mhm.
tell him soon that I can still do things that I dreamed of kahit dito mo ako nilagay.
Okay.
And true enough, during my university days, hindi lang ako na-satisfy in the four corners of the classroom. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is, I tried to reach out to other student organizations in Manila.
Mhm.
And kasi usong-uso that time yung mga events, campus events.
Mhm.
And yeah, with the help of a friend from the university, from Perpetual, we reach out to them and we get connected. A lot of them. So, alam mo yung parang taga-perpetual ako, kasi especially those days,
Mhm.
uso-uso yung mga school discrimination.
Oh.
Ang magagandang school lang doon, Ateneo, LaSalle, UP.
Yes, mga
UST,
top
sama
3.
mo na, and the rest, yung top 3. Pag other than that, wala ka. But us, especially yung school ko, it's really not known. We were able to connect to different organizations.
Mm.
Sa lahat ng school na yun, I became an active volunteer in UP IT department sa Ateneo, LaSalle. I was able to speak to the students of Ateneo, LaSalle, UP,
Mm.
UST, FEU, name it, during my last year in college and my first few months after graduation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So those things allow me to realize that kahit na negative yung situation mo, something something can come out of it
Yeah.
as long as you put in the work.
I see.
You know, and later on, I realized in my life, I thought it was all me. I thought I believe in my strength. I believe that I
Mm.
have the skills. I was gifted. But later on, well, I had to go through something to realize that that is pride. It's not really me
Yeah.
pala. It's God's grace.
Yes.
After all these years, when I look back, akala ko ako yun. But
Mhm.
no, I don't have the capacity pala. I don't have the strength to get through all those things. It was God's grace all along.
And having that, ano bro, no, yung ganyang mindset and understanding how to surrender kay God at, I mean, at least at an early age of
Mm.
your at your early age. I think that's also the reason bakit na overcome mo yung mga hardships na to eh. And not
Yes,
just the
yes,
finances but also yung mga shinare mo about employment na
yes.
halos paulit-ulit na nangyari pero you always found a way para mag-thrive and
Mm-hmm.
not just survive but mag-thrive dun sa mga scenarios na yon.
Yeah.
Wow. So dito ko nakikita na gaano ka-importante ang mindset and how important it is also to surrender your plans sa kanya kasi I remember back
Mm-hmm.
then nung dumating ko sa UAE parang sabi ko lahat for the last 7 years that I was working in the Philippines parang sabi ko lahat naman ng accomplishments ko is because of my hard work and
Yeah.
diskarte na rin siguro. Pero nung
Mm.
nandito na nga ako, sabi ko dito ko na experience mas scam, kamalit ng investments and all. And ang daming plans na nakalatag na sana. Pero hindi siya yung nag-work eh. And
Yes.
din yung time na I had to move two steps back para nga at least
Yeah.
mag-move forward na mas maayos. And that's also the time na mas naging close yung relationship ko with God. And doon
Yes.
ko nakilala sila Bro Jeric, through the feast, other
Mm.
communities din. And ang dami ko nakilala na like-minded people in terms of personal finance. And kaya sabi ko, ang ganda ng plano niya kasi if not for the things na na-experience ko in the past, yung mga struggles na yun, siguro hindi rin ako magkakaroon ng ganitong mga opportunities because of those experiences. Kaya grabe,
Exactly.
iba kapag you learn how to surrender at an early age. Sabi ko nga, sana siguro nung mas bata-bata ako, mas inayaan ko na lang na siya yung mag-decide for me. And ako siguro I will just try things out. And I mean, yun eh. I
Yes.
mean, that's how I found my purpose as well. And
Yeah.
ngayon bro, no? You've overcame your financial problems because of that mindset and because of your faith in God and sa kanyang mga binibigay sa iyo, no? And sa tingin mo ba, what has been your biggest lesson with money being an overseas Filipino over those years that you've experienced?
Oh, wow. My biggest lesson about money. Yeah, good question. I never worship money. I never look at money as as a goal. Alam mo
Okay.
yun? I don't know if this is making sense, pero
Yeah.
when I dream of doing something because I want to do it, not because I will be rich when I do it. So having that mindset in everything that I do allowed me to focus on things that really matter. And sabi ko nga, you put meaning over money and the money will just follow.
Yes.
Dahil yung sinasabi sa iba yan. Kasi parang if you think about money and then you try to add meaning into it, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You are focusing on the wrong goal. So when I put meaning over money, ibig sabihin, I'm trying to come up with an idea, a business idea, or maybe some kind of content creation idea. Gagawin ko or ginawa ko. And little did I know, yung vlogging ko, halimbawa, yung vlogging ko, it has generated some passive income that I never expected. Apparently because people are seeing value in it. Kahit na ang tingin ko doon, hindi naman siya ganun kalaki in terms of value. Kasi I don't have that following compared to those influencers that really are hundreds of thousands following them, you know. But yun isa sa matutunan ko, not to look down at myself kasi other people are looking at what I do with value. You know, so that's putting meaning over money, and the money indeed follows. You know, if you have a value, then you have a price. Parang ganon. Yeah. Lesson, I don't know if that itself is a lesson, but ano ba? Yun eh. I think I cannot really think or get anything else on the top of my head right now.
I think I totally understand your point, bro. Kasi parang when yung sinabi mo yung putting meaning to your money, bumalik naman ako dun sa first year ko sa UAE kasi when I came to the UAE, ang hinahabol ko back then was money. And I thought na money will be the main solution to everything, all of the problems that I had. Pero as I was pursuing money, doon naman din nawala yung mga important relationships ko. Kasi ito yung mga times na pumasok ko sa kung ano ng mga businesses or investments. And then, sa sobrang eager ko na mag-earn, doon naman din nawala yung mga mas mahalagang bagay sa akin. Then, doon ko na-realize din na yung, like what you said, no, the more na hinahabol ko yung pera, the more siyang lumalayo. Pero the more that I spent time giving value to myself, and then reading all the books na ano ko and attending seminars and all, doon din ako nagkaroon ng way para magbigay ng value sa mga tao. Through ito siguro because of the skills that I've developed over these past 5 years or 6 years. And then that's the time that you start to attract the right people. I got to know you, and then we got to find the sources of income through those connections. And then because I mean, hindi na siya yung something, kasi yung money is not something that you pursue, but rather you attract by adding value to yourself. Kaya sabi mo nga na putting meaning to your money, ibig sabihin when you have the money, you use it in something valuable for you, and in turn
Yes.
it will give value to other people then as well, and that's how
Right.
you attract money
Mm.
by simply adding value to
You know,
yourself.
exactly. If I may add about putting meaning over money.
Mm-hmm.
Ito kasi medyo profound kaya hindi ko agad sinimulan ng ganito.
Mm-hmm.
You know about tithing? When I hear
Yeah.
Randall Chongson, Ching Kitan, Edric Mendoza, everyone who's doing financial literacy, Francis Ko,
Mm-hmm.
they always
Mm-hmm.
talk about tithing.
Yeah.
And I first learned about tithing in the church.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not convinced that time. Sabi ko, wow, this is hard-earned money. But it's not very easy for me to put 10% to an envelope and give it to church. Especially during that time kasi I had that critical mind na parang lagi kong pinupuna, saan mapupunta yung pera? Sinong gagamitan mo ng pera? I'd
Yeah.
rather give this money to someone in need kasi mas alam ko kung kanino napunta. But you
Mm-hmm.
know what I learned as I continue to grow in my spiritual walk with the Lord is tithing is not really about how much the money you give it. It's really an act of faith. One thing that I learned from my coaches, my mentors, is that you give 10% because you want to prioritize the Lord. For example, when I receive my salary, I will take away the 10% of that, not give what is left out of my salary
Mm-hmm.
because you prioritize God. It's an act of faith, meaning and that also gave me a realization that I can live within the 90% of my salary actually. You don't really need
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And the Bible says God loves a cheerful
Yes.
giver. God loves a cheerful giver. So when I all realize and relearn how the all concept of tithing, I looked into it. I prayed
Mm-hmm.
for it. Lord, develop me into a cheerful giver. And when I reached that point, and my wife also is aligned with me,
Mm.
naging madali para sa amin. And without even realizing, favor after favor after favor ang nararanasan namin when we started to commit. And we're not talking about, ano yun, parang talagang 10%. Whatever comes, kung may bonus akong natanggap, I will add that 10% of the bonus to the tithes.
Even bonuses,
Yeah.
huh? Nice.
Yes. And that allowed us to really, what do you call this? Look into God even more as a God of a giver of blessing, if I could put it,
Mm-hmm.
a giver of blessing, a giver of favor. And truly enough, we cannot outgive God. Yung fear ko
Yes.
noon na parang ang laki ng ibibigay ko kahit nga
Oh.
less than 1% pa lang ibibigay ko. Ang laki ng ibibigay ko, sayang to, mapagagamit ko pa to sa kung saan man.
Mm.
Now, these days, it has proven that 90% is enough for you, son. Sabi ganun.
Nice.
Yeah, ano ba yung sinasabi ko? And yeah, yun
And
nga,
yeah,
medyo naman.
I think, I believe then na tithing is something that you do para rin ma-strengthen pa yung faith mo eh. Right? Kasi
Yes.
nga you give without expecting anything, and you know for a fact that it will go back to you
Mm,
tenfolds. Probably not monetarily, but probably
mm.
through different blessing. And in my encounters then with the Lord, talagang nakita ko yung mga hindi talaga ini-expect. As in, lahat ng
Yes.
hindi ko in-expect, yun yung
Mm.
nagbigay ng sobrang blessing. Kami kanina magkasama kami ni Emong. Sabi namin, alam mo bro,
Oo.
for itong ginawa natin for the last 2 to 3 years na mga activities, businesses na ano natin, we had the struggles pero iba yung blessing niya eh. Hindi
Yes.
siya nag-work as how we planned it, pero yung
Mm.
ending niya was far better than what we
Right.
expected.
Right.
Kaya amen to that, bro.
Amen.
Grabe.
Nakita mo ba nakita mo ba during just within this conversation natin ngayong gabi,
Mhm.
that money is really spiritual somehow?
Yeah, I always
No,
believe that.
parang
Na
money is spiritual at the end of the day. I mean, that is an act of faith. Tulad ng sinabi mo, it's not about how much do you put out in there, and that gives you contentment also, which is
Mhm.
good for your spirituality. You are content.
Yeah.
Therefore, you focus on only things that you can do and allow God to do whatever He has to do for you.
Exactly. And you get to focus on your purpose because you know for a fact na money is not what you're pursuing.
Yeah.
Grabe, galing. So ito, you mentioned about tithing and all, and you also experienced na rin dati nga yung mga struggles mo with finances. And so how do you spend your money now in addition to tithing? I mean, paano yung inyong agreement ni wifey? Parang paano ba siya? Parang more on kasi may nakausap na rin mga couples before, and I think sa inyo din it's one of your strengths kasi both of you, like what you mentioned kanina, you both are in line in terms of handling finances eh. So sa inyo ba paano ba when you receive the salary, automatic tithes na yan, and then the rest you immediately invest ba, or what do you do with it?
Wow. Alam mo bang hindi ko nakikita yung money. I mean, si Rax kasi, she committed to really manage it.
I see.
She committed to manage it. She's the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, ng
ng
marriage
household
namin, ng family namin. Yeah. So we just had this understanding that yes, the moment the salary comes in, we give the 10% to the church, and then we pay utility bills and we budget. Laging may budget. My role, wala akong role sa finance, to be honest. But I keep records. For example, we feel that, oh wait a minute, parang medyo napalakas yata yung gastos natin lately. I will keep a record. I have my Excel sheet. I have my template. My personal template lang. Wala akong pinagayaan. What are the expenses? There's food outside, grocery, extra shopping, etc., etc. And then we will find out where did we spend more. From the budget natin, where did we spend more? And then we will try to correct it next month.
Okay.
Ganun na yung ginagawa ko sa...
So ino-oversee mo lang siya, no? Ano bang nangyari?
Yes. Yes. And you know when you are following Christ, ewan ko pero kasi Romans 12:2 says, diba, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed with the renewing of your mind. When we learned about this, be transformed with the renewing of your mind and do not conform with the patterns of this world, mas gumaan yung feeling namin that we don't really have to buy everything out there, especially the branded ones.
Yes.
We are not branded people. Kami sa family, as much as possible, hanapin namin yung pinakamura. We are not depriving ourselves of joy or happiness, but hahanapin namin kung saan mas mura, pinakamura, kahit hindi branded. Tatatawa nga ako pag may nakita din, nag-bike kami, di ba? Uy, nag-bike kayo, anong brand ng bike mo? Sabi ko, hindi naman kasi namin binili yung bike para sa brand. We bought that kasi we wanted to have fun. Pero walang brand yung bike namin. And that's just one example. And non-branded, that gave us a lot of parang margins pa sa pera namin. I'm not saying that patronizing brands is bad. Of course, we also have some little things that we want that particular brand. It's just that the consciousness that you always have to buy the popular ones, yun yung tinanggal namin sa mindset namin.
Nice.
Nakabili ako ng sapatos, 15 dirhams. Magti 3 years na siya.
Natalo mo yung record ko sa day-to-day na 30 dirhams.
15 dirhams. Ewan ko, siguro sale. Wala siyang brand, pero mukha siyang branded.
Oo.
So, ganun yung in-adapt namin sa family. That's why we still get to save a bit of a margin.
Galing, And yun I mean, yun yung isa sa pinaka-mistakes ng mga overseas Filipino na dito, ang daming branded, ang daming gadgets, ang daming lahat nag-sale, and they can afford it kasi nga, di ba? Earnings are far better versus in the Philippines. Pero yun din yung nagiging reason kaya sila na stuck sa cycle of consumerism na yan. Yung never-ending cycle of consumerism na sinasabi nga natin. And I get to appreciate din na I have people who also have the same mindset like me. Kasi if I'm surrounded by people na sobrang branded din, alam mo yun, lahat kayo branded. Diba? So, ang tendency lahat din kayo baka struggle. I mean, we're not saying na mali yun, of course not. It's up to your depende naman sa yan. It's how you use your money. Again, we want to use money, or we want you to use money as long as it adds value to you and it helps you add value to other people as well. So, if through those brands that you're purchasing na pupursue, nagagawa mo yun, then by all means, diba? Why not? As long as you are happy whatever it is that you're doing.
Sabi nga ni Coach Randall, diba? It's not bad to once in a while you enjoy, you reward yourself. It's not bad at all. It's just about making it a lifestyle or a habit. That's making it not good. Yeah.
And eto bro, you've experienced investing, and sa tingin mo, ano yung naging best and worst investments yung dalawa ni Miss Rax all throughout these years?
Wow.
Was it the real estate
Well,
na ano?
I think yes. Clearly sa amin, the real estate stands out as the best. Kasi we tried to
Mm.
go into business.
Mhm.
That also did not, succeed. We tried mutual funds, hindi naman namin naasikaso consistently.
Mhm.
And then, what else did we try? I think yun lang naman. Mutual funds and then business and then this. We've tried different businesses na before.
Mm.
Meron
Yeah,
pa
you had
kaming drop
t-shirts, right?
shipping. Yeah,
Mm.
may t-shirt, may shipping, and then may ano pa kami, yung mga decorations actually na
Oh, okay.
magde-decorate kami ng mga souvenirs for parties. Lahat
Mm.
yun hindi succeed. And then we learned our lessons. Yeah.
Mm.
Real estate, I think, is the best so far that we've done. Although ngayon, lately, meron kaming isang condo na 8 months nang walang nagrenta.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, pandemic,
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to work. But
Yes.
the good thing about real estate, on why we choose real estate, is we know that it's gonna be with us forever.
Mhm.
Well, for life, di ba?
Yeah.
Somehow, 99 years ba? Or wala na yata
Yeah,
ganun
oh,
sa
it
ibang
depends dun
property.
sa kung yung bahay or yung condo is
Yeah.
still habitable para sa mga tao.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we may be losing this year, but pretty sure when all of
Mm.
this is over, we will regain the value that we are expecting out of it. That's why I think this is one of the best investment that we have done. And worst, yun,
Worst,
yung mga
yeah.
na-scam. Worst is, ano
Na-scam ba kayo
ba?
dati? I mean, were you have
Yeah,
you experienced that as well?
marami pero hindi naman siya, hindi naman investment related. But it
Ah.
involves money. I mean, kasi we help a lot of
Yun
people.
yung mga pinautang na hindi na nabayaran.
Yun, either that or talagang may mga na-make tapos wala pala sakit
Oh.
or what.
Oh my God.
Investment, yeah, I think that's the worst, I believe. Although hindi naman talaga siya directly investment
Investment
in
yeah, kasi
nature.
wala naman kayong
Kasi,
returns na
yeah,
in-expect out of it.
although in the beginning, I don't know if you've heard my video talk.
Mhm.
It's a networking business. It's in the
Mm.
beginning, kasabay ito ng mga struggles ko here in the UAE. So somebody convinced me to pay 1,200 dirhams,
Okay.
and then I need to recruit people para mag-earn ako.
Mm.
Ayun. I also had that nose in with these quick schemes, quick money making schemes
Get rich
before.
quick scheme so.
Yes, and then that's only one, and then natutunan ko na yung lesson ko after that. I was not thinking so much kasi video talk, para daw magkaroon ng video conferencing or something like this. Parang sabi ko nga, I was very stupid not to see it, knowing that I am a digital person. Na parang, alam mo yun, and then, yun nga, nag-boom yung YouTube, nandiyan si Skype, tapos look at us
Mhm.
now, Zoom, StreamYard,
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
things. Yeah, so I did not get my return on that. Loss na yun.
Mhm. So yung mga ganung schemes talaga, ang dami rin dito. I mean, kahit
Yes.
ilang beses akong mag-inform about those schemes, meron pa rin talagang kumakagat eh. And I think
Oo.
lalo ngayon na pandemic kasi nga
Oo.
marami talagang desperate to earn more kasi affected talaga,
Mm.
and it's just so happen na meron pa rin talaga mga scammers out there, and I think I learned to accept their role in society na talagang scammer, that's your role eh, scammer ka, di ba? Mga scam ka ng tao, pero it has to be our own responsibility para aralin yung mga ganung investments para hindi na makapang-scam
True.
yung mga taong katulad nila, right? Grabe. And bro, if there's one money tip that you were gonna give to every overseas Filipino, ano kaya yon?
If there's one money tip, I think wag masyadong madamot.
Mhm.
I mean, napaka-general dyan, napaka-general din. Ano ba? Yun nga siguro, I think I keep on saying this, look for meaning, put meaning over money, and the money will follow. Kasi that is the beginning of how I encourage people eh. Kasi we have the tendency as humans to really love money without
Yes.
being conscious about it. That we all desire is money and nothing else. If we don't have that kind of desire, believe me, the pressure will be less, the stress will be less, because you are looking for something that will give you meaning. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi mong meaning, it's very substantial for you. Maybe it's essential for you. Maybe it's something that you will love to do. And without you knowing, yun na nga, the value of what you were doing will follow. Yes. Money will follow. I know it's easier said than done, and not everyone can do that, especially those that maybe at the yung nagtatrabaho lang to make both ends meet, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to be preachy, but I think you surrender it to God.
Mhm.
It's one good thing. Because if you are left with very little options, you cannot really just tell people to invest if they have no money to invest, right? You
Yes.
start from the very beginning, from the very basic. You keep doing what you need to do and leave everything that you cannot control to the Lord. And that also that will work for sure
Mhm.
because I'm sure that once in your life, not just once, God has already brought you out of something.
Yeah.
He has saved you. And He will always be the same God that will do it for you, even in your financial life. So just don't lose that kind of promise ni God sa atin.
Yes.
And yeah, it will go a long way. I may not give you something specific about money because I am not that finance guy,
Mhm.
but that is something that you can hold on to. And that's what we also have hold into.
And I
Parang
think
ano lang yan eh,
mhm.
vlogging or YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube concept. Hindi ka naman nagbibigyan ni YouTube ng pera, di ba?
Uh-huh.
Hindi ka naman bibigyan ni Google ng pera sa vlog mo. You have to put some...
You have to do your part as well. You have to put in the effort and all. And ito,
Yes.
I just want to share this with you, bro. Mabilis lang kasi mga nakilala ko na naging successful with money are not those who are sobrang ang tawag dito, savvy with their finances. Sila yung mga
Mm-hmm.
nagkaroon ng experiences with the Lord na like may
Yes,
nakausap po isang
yes.
kabayan dito. Napakasimple ng lifestyle and sabi ko, how were you able to save this so much money and natuto ka mag-invest and
Mm-hmm.
never kang na-tempt na ma-scam? Sabi niya sa akin,
Yeah.
alam mo, hindi ako masyadong maano sa finances, pero I just followed yung scriptures. I just followed the word of God.
Yes.
Maaga exposure ko sa ganito mga bagay. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because of that, na-prevent niya yung mga scammers, na-prevent niya yung mga impulsive
Yeah.
na
Yeah.
investments, impulsive na pagbibili. And
Yes.
hindi niya kino-consider sarili niya na financially savvy. Pero if you look
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
his or her net worth, ang ayos. Far
Yeah.
better than the ones who are professionals sa field na iba na nila
Yeah.
who are working as bankers, working as
Yes.
accountants, auditors,
Right.
all those stuff. Now, very
Mm-hmm.
into numbers. Mas
Mm-hmm.
naging successful sila sa money.
Yes, kasi
Grabe, iba.
di ba, if you look at it, it should be values driven. Kasi may
Exactly.
technical knowledge ka nga, financial literate ka nga, but you don't have the push, you don't have the right
Mm.
heart, you don't have the character. It's gonna be useless. But even if you lack knowledge in something, but you have the character to learn about it, you will definitely get there. It's a
Mm.
matter of really starting
Yes.
and making it a habit.
Agree.
Hindi
Oh.
lang basta starting kasi before I used to start something and then pause tapos hindi na matutuloy. You
Mm.
have to reach the point that it becomes a habit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo. And maganda yung pagka meron kang proper guidance in terms of yung lalo na pag-manage ng behaviors mo. And pag na-manage mo yung behaviors mo and your emotions, then money might as well be
Right.
ano ba? It will follow, of course, like what you said, the putting meaning to your money through that
Yes.
aspect. And ito bro, my final question for our episode tonight
Yeah.
is na if you're going to reset your life as an overseas Filipino, what would you change in terms of how you manage your finances?
Okay. I wanted to say I want to change a lot, but after all, realizing that everything that happened, good and bad,
Mhm.
will be used by the Lord for something purposeful. I don't see myself wanting to change even a bit of it. Yeah. Kasi kung papalitan ko yung part of those struggles, the years I struggled with, maaaring hindi ganito yung outcome.
Yes.
So, what I am living right now or enjoying right now, I believe is a product or a consequence of the actions, decisions, or even inactions and indecisions that I have done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly cannot tell and I never revisited my journey, to be honest with you. Noon siguro gusto kong palitan. Sana siguro nagplano ako bago pumunta ng Dubai. Baka nung pala mataas na sweldo ko. May mga ganon.
Yeah.
Pero I wouldn't trade my journey with another one because I learned not only not only about financial literacy, but also about life's meaning, purpose,
Yeah.
relationship. and most especially God's role in our life.
No regrets, ika nga, ano?
No
Yes.
regrets. Yes,
And
yes.
yung mga
Sabi nga ng
states
t-shirt
na yun.
mo, we prosper with a purpose.
Yes, exactly. Ayan.
Yeah.
And habang tumatagal nga itong podcast na to, doon ko lang din na-realize na, ito talaga yung purpose ng pera. I mean, it has to serve not just you, but has to serve the Lord and many people that you love and care for.
Yes.
Yun,
And I think,
grabe.
Jay, siguro Jay, I will just close that message na bakit parang napaka-cliche naman siguro ng sinabi ko na I don't want to change anything. Kasi alam mo, I realize you really don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. And one of the things that I wanted to advocate into is to normalize failures. Kasi there's a lot of values in failing. Alam mo yan. You know that. So, if I have to change part of my life to be more smooth or perfect, I don't think I will learn more values along the way kung ganun yung mangyayari.
Oh, I mean, failures are part of success. Hindi siya opposite. Kasama talaga siya. That's what I learned.
Exactly.
Habang tumatagal itong aking journey towards spirituality, personal growth, and even ito sa pagbibuild din ng wealth. And grabe, ang dami na tayong pag-usapan, bro. Alam ko kulang ang 1 oras or 2 oras sa ating conversation. Ang bilis ng oras, di ba?
Part 1 pa lang to.
Part 1 pa lang to. So,
bilis ng oras.
So bro, I know you are a famous guy na right now within social media dito rin sa UAE, dito sa ating community here. Pero saan ka ba nila ma-follow? And ano yung mga social media handles? I know Boy Dubai and yung boydubai.com, but do you have any other social media handles that you want to promote?
Oh yes, thank you. So I share mostly my personal story from the failure to the struggles to the small wins and big wins sa Facebook page. I am Boy Dubai, or just search Boy Dubai, you will find me there. And there's also another one, we are relaunching BXD, so bxdnow.com. More stories, more, although it's more focused into Dubai, but still relevant to the global audience out there. So yun, Jay, thank you.
Nice. Oh, looking forward to the relaunch of BXD now. Last year yung project natin.
Oo nga. And you have an article there.
Oo nga, dadagdagan ko na yun, promise.
Ayun, okay.
Nag-commit na ako doon. Okay, so sige. So guys, that wraps our episode for tonight. But before I let you go, I hope you can listen to the last episode or past episodes of Pera and Purpose Podcast on Spotify and other podcast streaming platforms. Also, if you prefer watching the video of this episode, just go to my YouTube channel, Hey Kuya Jay, and if you want to schedule a financial coaching session with me, just message me on my LinkedIn or my Facebook page, Purpose Driven Finance. Yon! So once again, ito ulit si Kuya Jay, together with Bro Ayon Gonzaga, aka Boy Dubai, telling you to prosper with a purpose. See you sa ating next episode.
God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye, bro. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lee.